Cool. Let's do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hello, hermit. These dogs are actually brutal right now. Why? Like, I'm getting max dog spawns at all times. It kind of sucks. Watch some decal.
At this point, you know, I don't know. I feel like, dude, I just want to, like, I want to do something that I can, like, give back to Stardust. You know, I just don't exactly know what. Because, dude, that is, I don't even have to say, man. You know, thank you is not enough. It really isn't. Like, I just don't know. Like,
How much did Stardust donate?
you know, and Stardust is a woman, right? Like, if she was a dude, you know, if it was a dude, like, you know, then it'd be different, you know. If it was a guy, but oh, okay, just cover your mouth then. That's what I would say, but you know, I can't say that.
What the fuck? What the hell?
What I say though. Start off that OF, dude. A coffee mug. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool actually. That'd be
Huh?
She ain't even make you do anything, right? No. has that limited time custom decal bussy you sent me, man?
In this scam awareness video, we're going to look at a very slight new twist on the jewellery store closing down scam, as well as a suit that will supposedly turn you into a boat.
Oh my gosh, it's that one thing from that one movie. What's it called?
Ulta Beauty. She's crashing to Ulta.
Hello. Did you just drive over the train tracks?
No, we've been sitting right here. Y'all just pulled past us and rolled past.
Yeah. I mean, we got a description for a white SUV that drove over the train tracks. And you have a flat tire.
Yeah, we got a flat tire now because we just tried to pull over, but that was not us.
Whereabouts are you coming from? Whereabouts are you coming from?
Hey, babe, I gotta pee, and we just tried to pull over, and we got pulled over.
We're gonna be out with that possible vehicle in Washington in a second. I have a plate for you when you're ready. Just be advised, it does have a flat.
There's times he said we stared off at the same time.
Man, it's kind of like a yes or no.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a yes or no. Did you drive over the train? Did you drive
No, I
on the
didn't
train?
drive out to the train station, but I did slow down and put my brakes on so we could park right here to go into B.
No, I get you there, but...
So no,
hold
I
on,
did
hold on.
not.
Let me finish. Why are you getting so aggressive? I'm
Because
asking.
I am, and you're sitting up here asking me the same question
Well,
over and over, and I'm kind of,
You're not answering it.
I'm intimidated.
You're intimidated
Yeah.
by me asking if you drove across the train
Because I
track?
already answered the question. I
Well-
sat up here and I pulled over.
Okay, well you got a flat tire and you
We
also
had a flat
hold on.
tire
You
before you
keep
pulled
cutting
over
me
the
off.
train track.
And you also have all this grass on the front end of your car.
We pulled over before we got even across the train track.
Let me rephrase this question for you. Were you at 4th and Center in front of Little Bros, that little
No.
burger place? You weren't
No.
there?
4th and Center?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. How'd you get the flat?
We got the flat before even crossing the train track.
Hey man, when you get the flat? Listen, man, I want you guys to get home safe. I'm just trying to figure this out, man. We got a BOL for a white SUV with that drove on the train tracks, man. So when do you guys get the flat, bro?
So he,
Where are you guys guys coming from then?
Here.
Where's here?
We parked here.
Yeah, where are you coming from?
You wanna answer that? 'Cause I don't have time to talk this shit.
Hey, Blitz, are you good for a sec?
Yeah.
Front driver's side's flat. She said that they didn't drive on the train track. They said they noticed it was popped, so they just pulled over here.
Hey, brother, just roll down the window. Yeah, just roll down. Appreciate you. Yeah. Were you trying to show me something? Oh, no, I was just... bro, I didn't know... I'm, like, literally ordering... She hit the train tracks, bro. Be honest with us, man. You can be straight with us, bro.
They stopped us right here.
A guy in passenger seat says he doesn't remember when she said she never once drove on a train track.
Any indication of how?
I don't know. She's really not talking to me. She's just on the phone with one of her friends. She's like ignoring all my questions, but she just keeps denying driving on the train track.
So, no, she has to pick, like, bad. Like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's why I'm trying to get in here, and y'all sitting up here pulling us over like we did something wrong, and that's why it's making us look like
Yeah. Well, again,
I get what you saying though. We don't know.
so well, hang on. Let me just explain something real quick. So I don't know if you heard what my partner said beforehand, but he said that we stopped you for a BOL. We had a BOL, which means to be on the lookout for a white SUV that drove over the train tracks.
Hell yeah.
No, I took my AirPods out, so I was like, hey, no, you're good, bro.
You guys know why you?
They're good, bro. I know my route. I know my route.
Because we're all
Man, they look like you taking us to find the moose man.
there's nothing but trees and sticks over there.
I mean, there's trees everywhere.
Do you know where I live?
Why would I know where you live?
Exactly. So if you knew where I live, you know where there's trees and sticks and branches under my car. They're trying to arrest us and pull us over for a bunch of bullshit. I'm glad you see it in here.
Did I ever say that you were under arrest?
I'm not talking to you.
Hey, ask if she had alcohol to drink.
Miss, have you had any alcohol today?
No, but I'm sitting up here on the phone with my boyfriend right now.
Okay, with this drink right here, is this alcohol? What is this?
Where? Water?
No, in the other one right there.
Sweet tea?
Okay, let me see that can real quick. Not that one. The can.
Can we get out and go to the bathroom?
Not right now.
Hello?
That can that's under your purse. What is that?
He said give me my ticket so we can go on about our business.
What's that? Right now we're trying to figure out what's going on. You guys aren't telling us. Right now we're just investigating right now, okay? We're checking camera footage to see if you guys ran over the tracks or not. That's what we're doing right now. We got someone checking,
so
okay?
he's saying because y'all do not have no probable cause, y'all don't have a warrant, we can't get our ticket and we can't leave.
That's not
You have
what. They don't have a warrant, so they can't get a ticket.
the tracks or not. That's what we're doing right now. We got someone checking,
so
okay?
he's saying because y'all do not have no probable cause, y'all don't.
Probable cause. I mean, no. Probable cause is to arrest someone. Reasonable suspicion is needed to. Reasonable suspicion comes first. If they're on a BOL, which is what, be on the lookout, I assume. I haven't heard that one. That means if they see a car matching that description, that gives them reasonable suspicion to pull you over for that initial, instance. And then through questioning, then you can determine if there is probable cause or not probable cause. Probable cause or not. What the fuck are we talking about?
Don't have a warrant, we can't get our ticket and we can't leave.
You have damage to the front driver.
But what about a warrant and tickets?
Warrant, we can't get our
Checking,
So
okay?
he's saying because y'all do not have no probable cause, y'all don't have a warrant, we can't get.
You can't wait. They don't have a warrant for what? Now, if it's like to search a car, yeah, it's completely fine. I wouldn't say. I don't know if you would really say you have the the ability to search the car with what you have yet.
Get our ticket and we can't leave.
You have damage to the front driver's side, right?
We don't have damage to the
So
front.
right now we're just... Yes, you
We
do.
don't have damage to the front driver's side. Look out, because we have cameras just like y'all have cameras. We don't have front damage to the front bag.
Hey, Blitz, I'll be right back. Anything? She's claiming she never was on 4th, and she said she had no alcohol to drink tonight. There's a Long Island in the center council, but she said I think she's not answering questions about that.
Hey, miss, my sergeant's right there. Can you talk to my sergeant?
Ma'am, I need you to open your window. I see alcohol in the center console. I need to identify you.
Hello?
That's my sergeant. Can you talk to my sergeant?
I see an open can of alcohol in your center console. So
Water?
Okay, with all I know is I see that. So no, there was
And a can of sweet tea?
a Cutwater. There's a Cutwater.
That's not mine.
Okay, I need to identify you as a driver. Now that I see that in plain view, we need to see your identification. Okay.
That is a fair point. Yeah, plain view, you're allowed. You know, if I can peer through a window.
You as a driver. Now that I see that in plain view, we need to see your identification. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
She's chill with that. Nice. Yep. It always has to be an interesting day as a cop to do this stuff.
3 from 7, that vehicle's taken off. Let's go northbound Washington.
Yeah, you gotta be careful though. It is raining out.
Speeds of 56 and increasing. Still northbound Washington. Just past University. Vehicle's braking for the red light. Turning into the middle school right now. Vehicle's still traveling about 35 miles an hour. It's going through the stop signs. Westbound Farnham, 56 miles an hour. Still westbound Farnham, went straight through the stop sign. Passenger door is open. Still westbound Farnham through Lockwood, 54 miles an hour.
The guy seemed chill. I bet he's trying to get out.
Vehicle almost ran through a whole leaf pop. Still westbound Farnham, Maple Grove. Southbound Oak Ridge, she's at a dead end. She cut through a cider right now, right in front of Alta Beauty. She's crashed into Alta. Stop the car! Stop the car now! Put your hands out the window now! Put your hands up! Put your hands out the window now! Step on! Step up! Get down! Get down! Back up! Back up! Stop the car! Stop the... Radio, she just collided with 807. She's again trying to move the car. Stop the... Oh. Back up! Look, back up!
Every time she backs out, I think she's like, what are you gonna stop the car? I don't think it's happening.
Heads up! passengers at the store?
Yes.
Hands! I got it right here! Hands!
Little, I'm going over here. I'm going over here.
Hey, Sarge, come with me to the other side of the building just in case.
Hey, walk this way! Walk towards us now! Walk back! This way!
Someone got eyes in the passenger. Keep walking! That's the passenger.
Keep walking this way! Come this way! Over here! Come this way! Over here! Walk back this way!
Okay, to be fair, man, you're telling him to walk through millions of shards of glass and debris. Yeah, I gave him a second.
Mine. Keep walking! Keep coming! Come outside now! Come outside now! Come outside! Sarge, he's coming! He's coming! Step out now! Hands! Hands!
Okay, I'm good.
Get down! Get down! Get down!
I didn't do anything.
No, he's yeah, no, it's not on him.
Hold on. I'm going over here. I got the door.
Show me when you're tired of here. Yep. I don't even drink, so I'm cool. I'm cool with that, officer. I don't got no argue with that at all.
Radio from 7, we got passenger in custody. We're detaining, or we're putting the driver in custody now.
Oh, he told me I could do this.
Okay,
and I
yeah,
didn't know.
enough.
Get back in car. Is this the same officer I just had?
Yes, bro.
All right, I'm cool, bro.
In the back
You
of
on
the
the
car.
same car? Oh,
He told me I could do
Stop
this.
moving.
I didn't
Just stop.
know.
Okay, just stop moving. It's all over now.
No, both are in custody. Clint, you got passenger, right?
he's back here.
Perfect.
Is everyone at all secure right now?
A-firm radio, we're secure.
The male suspect, De Niro, was issued a citation for open intoxicants in a motor vehicle and is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. The female suspect, Katrina, was found to have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.21,
Whew.
the legal limit. She was charged with her second offense of OWI, felony malicious destruction of police property, felony malicious destruction of property under $20,000, felony malicious destruction of a building over $20,000, 2 counts of felony assault on a police officer, and felony third-degree fleeing eluding. She took a plea deal, pleading guilty to all charges in exchange for a sentence of 1 year in jail and 3 years of probation.
What? That's it? Oh my gosh, man.
Be released back into the public in March of 2027.
In the last year, Bedrock has started asking for ID. It's also banned people from multiplayer immediately, while insisting that you play it. Somehow, the game has gotten improvements, but it's also consistently making changes that nobody asked for and that are causing problems. I don't like to complain, but this video needs to be made, and so if you've never seen this structure, that's because of one of the many weird issues that Bedrock has. In fact, I'm going never seen this structure. That's because of one of the many weird issues that Bedrock has. In fact, I'm going to simplify this into a list of 7 huge problems and 3 concerns for the future of Bedrock. And so, hello, I'm AviX Toycat, and if you've heard people say, fix Bedrock Mojang, this is actually a meme that has expanded well past Minecraft's own social media. It actually stemmed from a series of major issues that came out last year and that went unfixed for more than 3 weeks. This is a big deal when they made the game fundamentally unplayable, and now about half of the issues are fixed, with cloud saving coming next week and fixing another big concern around world deletion. But does this mean that Bedrock is fully fixed now? Well, the answer is actually no. The problem is that every time Mojang fixes an issue, they seem to introduce entirely new ones to the game, and without a giant creator community to yell at them directly, I'm afraid that duty has fallen onto me. This isn't something I'm comfortable with, and I want to do this fully in the form
I'll come by after work today.
I think this is frustrating from an end-user perspective, but with that said, let's talk about the most frustrating thing for me personally, as someone who loves to play single player, because I like to play Minecraft by myself. It's a chill game, and Minecraft disagrees with me here. You can tell that this is a decision made from a corporate level, because they renamed the game Minecraft Play with Friends. They added this admittedly quite cool social tab. I do quite like how it looks. This is something they said they'd had Java for years, but still haven't quite added there. But then they've also added a new world's UI. So when you hit play, instead of seeing your worlds right at the top in a big ordered list, instead you'll see 12 of them at a time, which is great if you have 330 like me, but even weirder is the fact that you won't actually see 12 of your worlds. Instead, your 12 worlds are pushed down by any multiplayer worlds from your friends that are open and available to join. That means that if anyone has a world that you can join, it lets you know that you could do that, which sounds great on the surface until you realize that every world, when you open it, by default is open not just for multiplayer people to join, but for your friends to be able to just do so from no will whatsoever. This means that it's not actually your friends that desperately want you in there. I can imagine DallasNed65 is recording right now because it's called Season 1, and indeed, it's not that TankMattXBL wants me in his world. In fact, this isn't even a friend's world, because it's not just that Mojang are deciding to show your friends' worlds above your own, it's that these aren't even your friends' worlds. It's just whenever your friend is playing somewhere you could also play, it puts you in there. Also, this is not my skin. This is not the type of cat that I am. But what is the deal with that? Well, this is a really interesting question, and it seems as though this is a clear case where Minecraft has just been prioritizing the number of people playing with their friends going up over everything else, including the user experience. Because when the number of friends' worlds goes up or down, your whole world list moves, and it's so easy now to click the wrong world by mistake because it moves around. And why would they decide
I get off at
that
3 today.
unless they just really need... Oh, look, it just happened there. All of my worlds moved all of a sudden, and I can presume that it's gonna happen to move them right back. This is weird, this is strange, and it's one of the big issues. If you want to play Minecraft as a single-player game, it's not just that 2/3 of the play tab is multiplayer, now they want to keep your single-player tab to be as much multiplayer as possible too, and I do not love this one. Look, it's hard to work out where your worlds are going to be if this is how Minecraft is going to be. So this is something that I've had issues with, but I think the bigger issue when it comes to multiplayer is how Mojang decides to treat you. You see, in multiple jurisdictions, there is something, some equivalent of an online safety act, which says that big tech companies have to treat you as if you're a child until they can verify that you're an adult. The way that Minecraft treats this is anyone who does not hand over their ID to the company, or to technically a third-party company, is treated as a child, which I've never liked on an instinctive level, but I do concede how else are you going to verify how old someone is, except actually every other platform on the internet has a better way of working out how old you are. So if we use Twitter as an example right here, they'll say on your that if you have previously verified you were under 18, so if you confirmed you were 16 somewhere, and then you later have 2 years past, that's confirmation you're now 18. Or
Matthew went to Chicago?
you know, like at any point they were
Why?
in the past, or indeed the biggest one here, if your Twitter account is old enough, if when you started it you had to be 4 years old, you know, all that time ago, then probably by now you are an adult. This is a very fair and reasonable assumption that Mojang has decided not to make. It's you give over your ID or you're a child for life. This is an annoyance, I guess we could say, but what are the downsides of having a child Minecraft account? They've actually been working on slowly improving this, so now I can play on my But there are some funky issues. One of these is that people can't invite me to a game. You heard that right. I'm allowed to join people's games where they specifically don't want me there, but I'm not allowed to be invited there, which, you know, again, if you imagine I'm a child, it's the same thing that I'm allowed to ask for a lift home, but I really shouldn't be getting my lift home from the man in the van that's offering me, so maybe that makes some sense to you. But then also, even if you do join someone's world anyway, you can't have your chat read by anyone else who isn't already a friend. And as far as I can tell, even if they are friends, they're not reading it, but maybe that's just my friends ignoring me. But in either case, Minecraft has a multiplayer setup now where if you don't hand over your ID in lots of jurisdictions, you can't be invited to rounds, annoying for me, but also you can't chat online at all, and these feel like such weird restrictions to place, especially on an account that Minecraft and Xbox can verify has existed for long enough that if I had made my account when I was born, I would already be over the age. I would have had to set up my account 2 years before I was born, and is that very likely? Well, you'll have to tell me what if you're Microsoft, your legal compliance teams maybe tell you that it is, but I think it's absolutely absurd that other platforms are saying, yeah, this is how we'll comply, and Mojang seems to be maliciously complying, and it's not, you know, the UK government they're hurting, it's me, and indeed, hundreds of millions of players around the world who are in jurisdictions affected by this. Speaking of affected jurisdictions, let's talk about creative mode, because if you try to load up a new world in creative, well, first of all, the game's going to advertise not just things that you can buy, but a subscription that you should buy before you do so, but we've accepted that, that's a part of Bedrock now, you're going to buy things, so let's just say that you can press create new world and get past that, but now try to load up a world in creative, and something very immediate happened, which is achievements are disabled. This is a key way to let you know that, yes, this is a world that is effectively, it's not pure survival, it is one that is creative, and so in the Minecraft parlance, you might call that cheats, you might call it whatever, but when you actually load up this creative world, obviously, it's going to be open for your friends to join. I'm curious if anyone does, but also, critically, you might assume that because you're loading it up in creative, you'd have full access to what Java calls commands and what Bedrock calls cheats. But annoyingly, you know, just like how you'd be annoyed if you were poked in your eye with a fiery spear, I am very annoyed about the fact that every time I load up a world in creative, expecting that yes, I can fly around and give myself infinite items, I should be able to also give myself items. Well, no, the give command doesn't work. Do you want to locate a structure? The locate command doesn't work. Do you want to teleport yourself to someone else? Or even crazier here, right? Do you want to use the commands that Minecraft has built in? Well, you can't, because creative mode in Minecraft Bedrock has started to be considered no cheats. That is to say, they assume that if you're playing creative, you're playing by the rules of creative, and commands are far too much for you, which means even if you want to do stuff like change the time of day, the game is like, no, if you want to change the time of the day, you'd better go to bed like a normal person. This is weird, and it means that basically what has happened is Minecraft has decided that creative by default is not cheaty enabled. This can be fixed. You have to scroll all the way down here to where activate cheats is, and I will say that it's not the most disastrous thing in the world, but as someone who loads up, you know, sometimes 40 creative worlds at a time, this is something annoying to have to remember every time, because who expects that if you want to change your game mode, you'd have to do that? To be fair, to give Mojang some credit, Friendly Fire, my favorite option, because we all want this guy running around with us, Friendly Fire does not require you to have cheats turned on, and there's a couple of other options that aren't cheats required, but most of these standard creative mode options, like keep inventory or changing the day or the weather, are considered to be cheat on options, and if you don't have cheats on, you're having a bad time. And turning cheats on is, again, it's on a PC, if you know exactly what you're looking for, it's easy, but the number of players who are confused by this, and for what benefit? Genuinely, like, who actually benefits from this? I don't know. I'm very confused, and it makes me feel like, well, this. Oh, there we go. I did it. It makes me feel like this, and the only people who I could imagine of benefiting are maybe, like, you know, like phone or controller players, who are a good chunk of the player base, because maybe they weren't using commands anyway. But if they weren't using commands anyway, then what's the benefit? This is one of those changes that has just made life worse without any even, like, claim to making it better. It wasn't ever added to any changelog, and it's been complained about multiple times by multiple people, and yet there's been no word of a fix, no word of a, is this even intended? And that's a little frustrating, but if we want to talk about things that aren't intended, man, I need to talk about the way structures work. But first, let me make a even bigger complaint, because if you think that it's bad to be inconvenienced in a small way like this, let me tell you one of the biggest inconveniences Mojang has done to me personally over the past year. You could just skip this entire next point if you don't have any care for the concept of Minecraft realms, because I had planned out this entire video about why you shouldn't buy a Minecraft realm, and to put it as simply as I can, realms have been down a half dozen times this year. You can't access your own realm if you're banned from multiplayer, even if you're the only player on it. But even crazier is the fact that right now, if you have a realm which you keep your long-term survival on because you're stupid like me, then it means that you can't download that world. I'm actually a little embarrassed to admit this one, because something that I think everyone should do is regularly check their bank and credit card statements, and to be honest with you, I maybe haven't been doing this as frequently as I should, because recently I was going through and checking my credit card statement, and I noticed that I was being billed for realms 3 times. This was weird to me because I only have 2 active realms. I have one for my Let's Play world, one for my creative. You could see that in the previous clip. 2 realms that are active, but I was being charged for free subscriptions. I was curious if maybe I had some second account that I started buying a realm on, and I was a little worried that I'd done something really stupid, but then I went and checked and nope, that hadn't happened. This 3rd realm that seemed to exist was tied to my Toycat account, but yet I only had 2 realms. Then I cancelled the realm thinking, oh, is this going to cancel my Let's Play world? And nope, I cancelled this £3.29 a month subscription, and it actually had not been connected to anything, meaning that I'd just been being billed £3.29 every single month for 3 years. We are talking about over £100 that I just hadn't noticed was going missing from my credit card statement, and genuinely I was a little bit, distraught about this, but I figured, oh, this should be the easiest phone call in the world. Microsoft will be able to see that I have 2 active realm subscriptions, but they've been charging me 3 times, and they'll simply refund it, except, my phone call with Microsoft did not go that way in the slightest.
I wanna, someone can look into, like, if those order numbers should correspond to realms, like someone who knows what they're looking at should be able to see that there is a realm that hasn't been activated at all in that time.
Unfortunately, this information that you are mentioning is more about Mojang, because this activity or like a realm service, it's being provided or sold on the front store of Xbox. However, the service itself you are using inside Minecraft.
To be fair to the guy, after spending 10 minutes on the phone with him, he did offer to refund 2 of those months for me, and I pushed back and said, no, the problem is that I've been billed incorrectly for this amount of time, and he said, okay, 3 months, and I said, no, you misunderstand. The issue is I've been charged for 3 years for a service I haven't used or had access to, and he said, fine, 4 months, and at the end of a 30-minute phone call, they agreed that, yeah, you probably did pay for something that you don't have access to, but that's Mojang's problem, so we'll give you 7 months refund, and that is exactly what happened. I got billed for 36 months, roughly, and I got 7 of those months back, meaning I paid for 29 months of a realm subscription that they're not really looking into giving back, because who's to say I didn't just use it, and I'm looking to, get my money back anyway, trying to scam them out of some money, and so, you might say, like, well, Toycat...
Ah, crap, hold on.
This is a prime case for a credit card chargeback, except actually, fun fact, those are limited to 6 months in the past, and technically Microsoft refunded the last 7 months, perhaps knowing their liability there, and so that means, as a result, I have absolutely no recourse besides literally going to a court of law, or we could use the court of public opinion, but genuinely to me, the bigger point here is not my money, as much as that pains me, and as much as I feel like an idiot for not having checked my credit card statement and perfectly matching the number of realms to the number of subscriptions, but the bigger deal is the fact that I know that the reason I can share this in this video is because I know that this issue has probably happened to some number of people, because it was a bug that existed in Minecraft for some time, where when you go to renew a realm, it would start a new one as well as renewing it at the same time, but not even necessarily tell you. This is a really big deal, and so anyone out there, please check your credit cards. You might find some weird subscriptions you're paying for. It might be that you're paying twice for something you're accessing once, or paying once for something you're accessing no times, and please don't make my mistake, because it's painful and awful, and if you have to tell people about it, you feel like a real idiot. Honestly, I think that is the worst of the me personally side of this things, because I think the other side of this are issues that are coming to Minecraft that affect the community more broadly. Like, I'm fully willing to concede that I am not the average Minecraft player. Many people don't choose to use realms, and many people couldn't care if Minecon comes back, although personally it's my beloved, and I really, really hope that one day it does. Ultimately, I'm fully willing to admit that the things that I mostly find, like to be a concern, and what will affect most people are different, but there are some things that will affect most people that many people aren't even directly aware of until it's too late. A prime example of this was actually found by SmokeyStack, usually someone who goes into the game files after every update, but recently they found that Minecraft has started shipping their updates in a different format, the .br archive format, which thankfully the community has found a way into, but basically they've started shipping their files in an obfuscated format. This is a wild decision because, Jeff and the entire Minecraft team specifically made the call to go through and to make Java de-obfuscated. That makes it very easy to mod, that makes it very easy to archive, etc, etc, but they are specifically doing the opposite to that on Bedrock. That is right, it seems as though Mojang is a company that has worked out exactly the right thing to do and is doing that, and then they're doing the opposite to that on Bedrock. This has all sorts of problems, and although we can work out the exact reason why, it's something I don't need to say too much about, but we all can work out exactly why it is that Minecraft Bedrock needs to make different business decisions. I do feel as though we should treat it not like a series of players to be milked at all costs, not like a game that no one should expect to even care or own about, but instead I think that Bedrock should be seen as a serious way to bring Minecraft to the masses, and the way that it's being treated is as, yes, this is the fully commercialized version of Minecraft, and the only way stuff like this gets stopped in any way is when people are actually against it. When people just say, oh yeah, well it's the Bedrock version of the game, so who cares? Well, then nothing happens, and that's a big deal. Speaking of big deal, by the way, let's exit back to our menu, and let me just tell you the 6th issue. This is a real fast one. Here is the Minecraft menu screen right now. If you haven't played, man, this is a disaster. There are 2 animated advertisements the moment you load up Minecraft. One of these is for the marketplace and a Hello Kitty DLC collab thing that exists. If you're curious as to how much this costs, by the way, it's 1,510 coins. Oh my god, that's £8.99. Fun fact also, it's a minor complaint, we'll just make this 5.1. They are charging the same amount on the marketplace, whether you use dollars or pounds, which means that anyone who doesn't live in America is getting upcharged about 40% because, whatever, it's stupid. We'll complain about that another time. So here's the, because if you don't use the marketplace, you don't care, but if you don't use the marketplace, then you're being advertised to every time you load up the game. It's not just enough to say the marketplace is there, they're like, oh, come on into the marketplace. We don't care if you use the settings, we don't care if you play, come to the marketplace. And now, on top of that, there's also this second button, advertising Minecraft Dungeons 2. It would be something if this was something inside the game you can use, but if you press it, it just brings you to the pre-order page. There's no exciting thing going on here. There's just an animated button because they've worked out that draws your attention, and funnily enough, when the button stops working, it looks like this and goes hyperspeed, but also when the button stops working, sometimes it calls it gathering.info.qr, and I'm just saying, I don't think that Minecraft should be a big game about how many times can we trick you into buying things before you play. In my opinion, the game should be about playing, and then all of that can happen secondarily, but Minecraft is going slowly in the direction of more and more ads. I'm not just saying, oh yeah, well there's 2 buttons that are animated for the sake of you buying things. I mean that when you first load up the game, sometimes these notifications will show up full screen, telling you to pick up the Aether, or telling you to buy a realm subscription, for example, but then also sometimes when you go into your game, in fact every time you go into your game, it's like, also, did you miss out on all these things you could have bought? Minecraft are slowly pushing the boundaries of how many times can they push a product in front of you before you play the game that they know you're there to play, and I'm just shocked that it is going. Again, this is something that needs pushback, because every time we do, even though, you might say every individual step is fine, the slippery slope fallacy here is becoming reality, because we're slowly getting a Minecraft that says, oh, no one complained about Dungeons 2, that's our game. No one complains about the marketplace anymore, because it's been years. So what if we had pop-up ads as well? What if we had you know, like a brand new screen just to advertise this to you? The answer is that we're getting a game that is slowly becoming more and more advertisement and less game, and I just want to encourage anyone who is working at any executive position where you're actually in charge of making these decisions. Yes, a short-term metric looks good, but is it worth the long-term health of the game? And is there a better way to do it? Or even, might I say this, rather than having 4 different spots where you barrage people with different types of ads, why not just have one simple place to do it? This is how Minecraft Java does it, and everyone's entirely fine with that, and that is a sustainable, proven way to run a game. Is it how you should run yours? Well, I guess I'm not the executive at Minecraft, but I do have to say that it's one of those things that I hope someone at least considers, because again, there are so many easy decisions to make. We can talk about this from YouTube when it comes to analytics. So many people make one decision here and there, and you think they all make sense until you start making products that are weird and don't actually stack up. Speaking of weird and not stacking up, I'm going to make a brand new world to show you my 7th issue. So I am here on Java. Oh no, I've accidentally uncopy-pasted the seed to give you a bug report, because did you know there are missing structures from the Bedrock version of Minecraft, and the easiest way to show these is on this seed right here. By the way, look, I'm in creative, and it's allowing commands without me having to hit a second toggle somewhere in the settings. Wow, amazing that Java has this, but also amazing that Java has, oh, here's the spawn, right next to this house. If you play Minecraft Bedrock, you have never seen this house. It is a borderline guarantee, unless you also watch Java videos. This is a house for the Fletcher that just has not generated on Bedrock thanks to the bug that I accidentally copy-pasted into the world screen. Now, admittedly, there are different bugs on Bedrock and Java. One of the weirdest Java bugs seems to be this. The, these planters will generate up in the sky for some reason. There are different bugs between Bedrock and Java, and saying Minecraft fixed the bugs, I understand. Very big task, but there are some bugs that should be treated as high and important, and ultimately as parity issues. Minecraft is not the same game, or anywhere close, between Java and Bedrock, not just because it doesn't have this structure, but because it doesn't have these 6 other villager structures, and wow, after the Ultimate Guide, I remembered, like, oh yeah, what about these structures? I'll have to go into spectator mode to show these off, but what about these structures right here? If we look around, you can see that the Trial Chambers has hidden separate rooms, only available on the Java edition. This right here, I'm going to have to go to night vision as well. This right here is one of my favorite examples. There is a trap that when it generated on Bedrock, it generated with these spikes upside down, so we can confirm there was a bug that they never fixed. However, they didn't need to, because this trap, alongside all of the encounters, were removed from the Bedrock edition of the game in 1.21.30.24, a weird beta. They said this was temporary, and it was for an important reason. Apparently, world saves were corrupting when they added these. However, they just said, well, we removed them from the game, we technically had parity, and now we've just introduced a bug fix for that parity. That's the same, but no, Minecraft has the same structure between 2 platforms, and it's hugely different. And I'm actually going to level with you. I wanted to go on a huge rant about this and talk about how, honestly, why is it that they talk about the game wanting to be the same on both platforms, then missing so many key things? But actually, I think I've mellowed out since I did all the research for this segment, and instead I'm going to try and give you the best devil's advocate here, and try and prove to you why it is that even though I think that Minecraft should do some serious thinking, why it is actually tricky to solve this. You see, Minecraft is a very, very big and complex game, right? And if they are working out what should be an immediate priority bug fix, it should be the parts of the game that most people are interacting with. And I found out while doing the research for this segment that the odds of you finding an encounter room are only 0.08% anyway. I literally had to search over a dozen trial chambers before I found a single one. Whoa, my face. That's a weird Java thing. But I had to, this is so strange. Anyway, I had to search a bunch of different Java seeds before I found any that had them, and this made me realize, like, oh yeah, for most players, you know, the fact that I forgot for a full 2 years they removed them, even though I'm the sort of player that likes trial chambers, it's proof that it is a low priority fix compared to worlds corrupting or this or that. And that is actually true. But then I think to myself, but an issue that every player encounters on a daily basis is, well, actually, let me just prove this for you. An issue everyone encounters on a daily basis is survival. If you're at full health on Java and you take some damage from a fool, you'll heal right back up to full in, wow, look at that. It took me like 3 seconds to get half my health back. That is massive massive, and that is a really cool bonus. But this, this saturation bonus doesn't exist on Bedrock, and also the very concept of being able to hold anything you want in your second hand also doesn't exist. These are key and fundamental issues that you can't argue 0.08% of players are experiencing, or maybe a similar number when it comes to the Bedrock Villages. And so I just think that parity between versions doesn't need to be every single bit. Or, I mean, like, I would like it to be, you would like it to be. I think that if Mojang are talking about... Minecraft is talking about Rainbow Bees, the End Islands finally got an update, and Jeb is talking about the biome vote again. There's lots of weird news to get into today, but of course this comes to you on a Tuesday, which is the day that the Snapshot and Beta and Preview come out, and both of those are very interesting in their own way, and I want to share everything inside of them today, because hello, I'm ABX Toycat, by the way, and this is an update news video, and I want to start by talking about 26.50.22. This is the newest beta and preview, and the most exciting thing inside of it is the removal of a feature. Sounds weird, but hear me out here. 26.50 is now guaranteed to be the update that contains all of these dappled features, because there's no longer a drop-free 2025 toggle. That means any world inside of the finished 26.50 update will officially be a dappled forest thing, which means that we can now be fairly certain that September is the planned release date for this update, as indeed we predicted already, but it's still very nice to hear that. And just in case you're curious, that doesn't mean the next update will include all of these features, because 26.40 is going to be their next update, and it's coming out likely next Tuesday, so very good news for that, I've got to say. But you know what else is very good news? The fact that there is a beta preview, but you can't actually download it yet, at least not on PC, which means that there are other features to see, but most of them are based, most of them are bug fixes or very weird technical changes for creators, which we'll come back into after we've seen the snapshots. Because unlike the Bedrock beta, which is a little bit delayed, the Java snapshot did show up and has the exact same headline feature, which is brand new abandoned camps. Before this update, keep in mind the abandoned camp already had the most variants in Minecraft. We're talking something like 150 different campsites already. Then, based on where it would place in the world, it could have up to 3 unique ways that that campsite would spawn, and obviously these would change based on every biome, and there are a huge number of default ones that could spawn in any biome, meaning that you get something like 8,000 different ways that this abandoned camp can be. But what's crazy is if we read this out directly from both the Java snapshot and the beta preview changelog, you can see that they've decided to not just alter existing abandoned camps, but also add new ones, which means that this world, which I thought would be the comprehensive list of every single abandoned camp structure, now doesn't include all of them. And what's really sad here is that it's actually hard to pinpoint the exact new ones from inside of the game right now. What we can say is they all have white stairs. I wanted to believe in my heart when I heard there'd be new variants, like maybe some would be red, and maybe some would be green, and maybe some would be orange, and am I as creative as a traffic light? Apparently so. But the interesting thing is that although we did see that rainbow show off, at least at one point in the promotional material, that doesn't seem to hold out in the game. They want these to all be white wall stairs, which is a shame, because, I mean, just look how cool it could look. But maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe this is encouraging you to build these colored yourself, and also not wonky like I did. Speaking of things that I've done wonkily, I think that this is something that's very exciting, but again, we're gonna have to wait till we can actually see them in the game, which sadly I haven't been able to do on Bedrock yet, and sadly it's very hard to actually isolate the new versus the old versus the changed from just the snapshot in the first few hours. So instead what I can say is something we can see in the new snapshot, which is a massive change to how Java Edition currently works when it comes to what you might call cheats, or you might call flexibility. So if you go to escape, there is now a brand new world options button, which replaces the old open to land button. This is a part of the overhaul of the UI, and it means that instead of just having an open to land button, there's now the ability to edit game rules. This is massive. Again, as someone who always forgets to do this when I start a new world, I do want to keep inventory inventory on if I'm playing creative, and I do want to have, say, weather turned off. These are important functions to me. Being able to do it inside of the game rather than commands is great, but also great is the ability to change your game mode here, and this is something that people have been doing by default, except one of the ways that you can change your world options is by turning on land. Except, like I mentioned, they made a huge change such that if you're in survival mode, which I am right now, if you decide, you know, I'm done with survival mode, I want to be playing creative, even in a hardcore world, then what you just do is you press the open to LAN option, except wait a minute, nope, that isn't allowed. Command access can't be turned on if your world doesn't have commands, although you can just do that if you want to, meaning that ultimately, now you do have to at least hit a toggle being like, yes, commands will be available in my world, it will be a commandy world, before you go, okay, I'm done with this survival stuff, let me give myself some diamonds, so my 100-day playthrough can look more impressive. But ultimately, this is something that you have to decide to do, and I like that there's at least another extra layer in it. Should Minecraft have, like, some flag like there is on Bedrock? It's something that I think is an interesting debate, but obviously, as a Bedrock player, I feel like I'm biased in what I see as the default versus not, but for now, just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that if we go and find an abandoned camp, as exciting as though it may be, you're not going to see anything that is too exciting. And that's because Minecraft Java's, or both the Java and the Bedrock team, are currently taking some level of holidays. It seems to be more on Java than on Bedrock. But one of the important things about this is it means if you're expecting major changes, we're not really expecting to see that. It's small tweaks around the edges for cushions, small tweaks around the edges for the abandoned campsite, and indeed, small tweaks around the edges for lots of very exciting features that seem like they might be hints for bigger changes coming. Every week that we see very small changes made to the actual core base game that you can publicly see, there's kind of an assumption that there are bigger things happening behind the scenes, and with a game studio as big as Mojang and a game as big as Minecraft, you would kind of hope that this is true, and so let me tell you exactly why 3 major updates might be being worked on right now. The first of these is obviously an End update. We're all secretly waiting for that. They've decided to change the name End Islands to End Outer Islands. This is a really intriguing change, if you ask me, and definitely hints that they're doing something in the end, even if it's just cleaning up. Also, there is a new invulnerable time tag, which makes a mob temporarily invulnerable for a specific number of ticks. Right now, the only mob I can think of that uses this is the Wither, a boss mob. Wow, there hasn't been a new boss mob since, like, 2014, if you count the Wither, and honestly, if you count the Warden, we're still, like, back to, like, 2022 or something. It's been a long time since there's been a real boss in Minecraft. Maybe this is them adding the creator features so that they can later do it themselves, as we've seen them do before, or indeed when they specifically reference teleporting between dimensions. Wow, 4th dimension, am I right? By the way, just need to point out, isn't it weird how buggy Java villages are? I just wanted to find myself a fletching villager house, but instead I found whatever this is, and speaking of whatever this is, so is it going to be a boss update? Is there going to be an end update? Is there going to be a dimension update? Well, I do think we've been seeing tags that make all of these things possible, which is great news, but at the same time, I do also have to give the extra bit of information that the most, or in my opinion, the biggest change that I've seen is that they made a bunch of changes to how surface structures work and how features work, making it easier for them to add new features to the game, which in my opinion ties into what we do know about a new structure coming. But again, all of this is what I would like to call hopium. It's where you don't have anything too exciting to actually see, and so you have to invent something to be excited about instead. It might be reality, but in the same way, like, you know, for some people, snapshots are so removed from the game because you have to wait for weeks or sometimes months for them to come out. If you want to actually see these
he's just in my stream, bro. We needed one, and he said he was top 100, so he came and played. Yeah, DM, I got you, Lucy. To be honest, Lucy, mate, I think I'm just gonna watch the LCQs, bro, if it's about ranked. Yeah. I'm probably just gonna watch LCQ, mate. I think, like...
This ain't... I've seen most of y'all play, man. I've seen it. Y'all be scrambling in a pub match.
I'm so bored, man. Holy crap. I'm like falling asleep. It's barely been an hour.
The first ever NaNimF was scored by Dr. Spectred about 1 month after the game launched in March 2024, using Upper KO to copy cryptids. But I wanted to see what NaNimF would look like before this, so I got my hands on the pre-release version of Balatro 0.9.2, which is quite different from the Balatro we know today. But the most important change is Burnt Joker, which instead of giving you a level on your first discard, it used to be a scaling hand size Joker. And with this, I wanted to see if NaNimF was possible on the oldest version of Balatro. Oh, rare skip. $10. That's so nasty, man, because there could be an Ankh in here. There could be, but I have to spend $10 on my rare skip. That's so bad. That's so much worse. So there's gonna be a rebate and everything I need next shop. Kind of like a rebate and a sly. Idle. Okay, I'm not doing clever jokers. We'll cycle the idle for some money. I guess it's always worth checking a priestess in this version. Joker's $10, and it's plus 10 chips. Oh, but it scales by 5, so it's worse than it's $10. Passive scaling though is kind of OP. I wonder if I could get Wii Joker world record because I wouldn't have to hold the Wii. Okay, we need something to show up sooner. This run's kind of buns. Just starts at 10. Actually, you're right. Square Joker also started at 10. Flashcard, 1 malt common. Blue flashcard's kind of cursed. Probably by the To the Moon. Sure that we're going to get an Ankh in here. $2 tarot. W-Econ? Ticket's normal, except I don't need a gold card for it, so it's not. Interesting. Can I copy To the Moon? Incompatible. Can't be bothered to dig for my purple. I think we just need to see something soon. 20 chips on Todd. It's just such a worse Joker. And why is it 20? It's odd Todd, and there's an even number in there. Like, Magician would be the obvious choice, but I don't know if it is when I can only do 1 card. How much was I scoring off flush? It was like 11,000. Oh, I had a flush there. Whoops. I don't know how to play games without handy. Another rare skip. Rare skip's just terrible. Cola. Okay, let's go Spectral first for the Ankh. Purple. Add the sell value of all owned Jokers to the left. Wow. Ooh, a Judgment. Creates a random Joker? Wait, it does the same thing. It's always a relief when that happens. I don't know how I did that. One in 5. I do kind of want to rip this Judgment really bad. But I think we just start looking for something, otherwise we hit a reset, unfortunately. Shouldn't win. Purple. Sock. Ticket. And you're saying there's a devil in here? Justice the same. I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. Ooh, Chad. Come on, I need a gold card so badly. Watch this. Yikes. Oh, yeah. That is a lot worse. That this round. Here's my second blue seal. I actually hate searching for these cards. I have no flush 5 levels, so I actually don't know what my flush 5 scores. Get rid of you, because I'm never going to find it again. And we keep adding kings until we get to 49 in hand. That's not an inf. That isn't it. It wasn't enough. So how much more do we need? 1, 2. The end have to look so weird. I wonder if when we hit Nanimp though, if it will be tiny or somehow get bigger. I don't know why it would start getting bigger. Alright. Burnt Joker scaled at 49. And then we enter. He's reset. So if we do this, sell, Emperor, sell, sell, Emperor, and sell. 56 hand size. Burnt Joker at plus 50.
I actually like that idea of the Burnt Joker increasing your hand size.
50 hand size from Burnt Joker on Virgin. Remind.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some coffee, man. Hold on. I just feel not amazing today. Hold on, I think I know what will fix it. Ow. Ouchie. Ouchie wawa. Okay. Back to knifing. When did I make that Twitter post? Also, let me have my phone on me. Where'd I put it? Let me get my Wraith first. Alright. One. Oh, it wasn't over in the kitchen. Remember where it's at. Oh. 50-20 explained? I know how 50-20 works.
I've been wanting to make a sort of UCN 50-20 explanation video for years, but with the existence of DJ Sturf's tutorial and now Bones's as well, I've decided that the niche I can fill is to explain it without taking hours. Maybe not ideal for beating it yourself, but perfect for anybody who wants to watch a 50-20 win themselves and understand it without needing to invest a ton of time.
Yeah, it took me about 80 hours to actually complete 50-20. Although you could 100% do that faster.
The one that I use and runs like Dawko's Win uses. Everything else, such as no death coin, is self-imposed additional challenge and not relevant to just...
Yeah, no death coin routes though. Those are brutal. I can't lie though, it would be fun to try and see if I can complete a no death coin route. A 3x3x3 door? Wait, maybe... I wonder, does Alpha Omega have a good picture for it? Because that would be amazing for a thumbnail.
Deeply, every fiber aches with the pain of what has been. And the pain of what has yet to come. I fear it may drive me insane. Souls, all torn asunder by the journeys our madness has under by souls, all torn asunder. Asunder by the journeys our madness has wrought. It is only now is my burden done. And who must do it? War. Wars. Souls. All
Oh my gosh, I have the best idea for a thumbnail. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on, I gotta get a good picture of this real quick. Okay, so now we go to Canva. We create a new one. I mean, obviously with this here. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Download that. Uploads. We put our own in. We get a text. We just add a text that says 5, 21, 57, 28. We scale it up. Hmm. Trying to make a thumbnail with one hand right now. It's very difficult. Obvio with Steelinger here. We scale him up a little bit like that. Edit the image. And mainly just we need to make it kind of brighter, honestly. Tag is more of a reddish blue map. So we can turn the temperature probably up. I would say red's better than the blue. Brightness, we need a... Oh, wait, hold on. There is both red and blue in the image itself. So we just keep it neutral and just turn the brightness up. It kind of it brings it out already. Turn the contrast down a little bit. Make everything a bit... I think the highlights going up works as well. Shadows doesn't really matter. The whites can really stay the same. The blacks. Black's not really changed either. Change the vibrance and the saturation? No, we're not. Better. Or hi. I'm trying to think of a thumbnail to make. This is what I currently have. That's what I currently have right here. I'm like half designing one right now, kinda. I can't think of what a good one would be though. I'm just kind of like toying around with it. Hello though. Oh man. I'm gonna play. I don't really know if I like it too much. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna play this round here. Play as much as I can until I have to go to work. I have to leave for work at 9:50 in this morning. So in about an hour and 50 minutes, I have to leave for work. I can finish the round off here, definitely. I won't really be able to finish another round, though. So, I'll play one more tonight when I get home, though. And that'll put me at about... I mean, this round here will bring me to... Oh, look at that. I'm almost at 440. Yay! 8 more seconds. Woohoo! There we are. Yeah! 10 hours. Hooray. I'm going to try and do another long day tomorrow. Let me see what this is real quick. Huh. I don't think I'll be able to do, though, a full 10 hours tomorrow. That'll be... I work Monday morning. But I think I can do 3 rounds tomorrow. So... do the 1 round when I get home later tonight, and then the 3 rounds tomorrow. And then that will put me at 450 hours. So I have 72 left to go after that. Which would be pretty good. I see if Kill Will's playing at all right now. I don't think he is, no. So like I'm still good to go being ahead of him, but he's on 47 plus 512, so almost 560. So he's on 559 right now. Okay. Let's see here. At 7 set SPH, 559. So even if he was playing at 7 seconds per horde, I would still be about 14 hours ahead of him, which is good. Realistically, he's playing at about 6.4. So he's at about almost 390 hours. So I'm about 50 hours ahead of him now, which is good. But I think he's playing faster than that, though. I think he's playing at more about 6. So if that's the case, I'm about 75 hours ahead of him. Yeah, I should be able to beat him. I definitely should be able to beat him. My goal is to have this game done. Let me bring up my calendar. I said by the 17th, which I still am going by, but maybe the Saturday before the 17th. So what would that be? The 15th is so about 2 weeks from now is my goal. Is to have this game finished up in about 2 weeks. Which is, I mean, I have to do less than 40 hours per week. I should be able to do that. I mean, Wednesday, I don't know. Yeah, it should be, you know, it's not easy, but, you know, it should be fairly fine. Oh. Just boring. Just boring is all. Good luck later. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. Or don't have fun. I don't know. Well, it makes sense that Shooter 25 plays doors. $50-20 with 70% power. Wait, someone pulled a 79% run? How? $50-20 was beaten 37 times in a row. The closest I've ever gotten to, or no, the best I've ever done is beating $50-20 twice in a row. And that was with good DD luck. 50-70. Holy challenges. Let me look at this. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at this. Funtime Foxy Death. So, yeah, Funtime Foxy Death Coin. Makes sense. 79% power remaining. Puppet Out All Night Green Run? Yeah, okay, so Puppet Out All Night. What is Puppet Out All Night? Okay, I'm actually interested. What is Puppet out all night strat? That's a new one. Obviously, the Puppet is out all night, but how and why? No, caps lock. Okay, hey, here we are, here we are. 50-20, no death coin with Puppet out entire night completed. The fact that he's only used 2% power with this. Wait, did he use a... No, he didn't. Oh, that's probably why Music Man activated so quickly then. Because he's got the generator on the entire time. I am, though. Wait, does the puppet cause ventilation?
Oh my god. Oh my god. 9. 79. 8.
I don't understand Puppet out all night still. Why does that work? This guy's talented. Cool. Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that. I love that meme. I used to. Oh, my. Like, it's just so well made. Well, I don't know what this style of animation is. I absolutely love it, though. In an hour. Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that girl. Oh my gosh, no, I'm not watching that. I heard Poppy Playtime or whatever it is was like chapter 5 was awful. The firewall or the Interesting. Hmm. I do like it, like the fact that it is possible to beat the Harbinger. Good luck. I love that. It's such an insult from the devs. So it looks like it's a once a second thing, so you have less than a second to get back to the center and restore part of your... But it's also a lot more forgiving, it looks like. Wow. Memento Mori. I like that. I do like the idea of getting a badge for it. It should not really be possible, but
way that we're going to have to make what we call a surgical airway, a hole through the front of the neck, and put the tube in that way.
Okay. SATSA 71. Bjorn, are you getting surgical kit ready?
Second attempt, and then we're set up to do a surgical airway.
Okay.
Well done. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just keep going, keep going. 64 is...
And is the oxygen turned up all the way?
The trauma team needs to focus on the man's breathing. It's touch and go.
Okay, SATs are coming up, guys, so we're in the right place.
SATs are coming up. We're going in the right direction.
Well done.
With the patient's breathing now stabilized, the priority is looking for any life-threatening internal bleeding and brain injuries.
We need to get a CT quickly, don't we?
Yeah.
Got a CT ASAP.
I guess one of my questions is he actively bleeding from anywhere? Kind of can see he's bleeding from the right side of his right ear, and it's actively dripping.
Main concern is a significant closed head injury. CT are ready for us now.
So significant head injury, but other than that, we don't know. But I would describe him as critically injured.
In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Sarah finds out more distressing news.
The police have just let us know that this gentleman's brother was also involved in the accident. So his brother is actually here and also injured, and we'll have to find out how severe his injuries are.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got something else. But for speed and a lack of protective gear.
In the CT room, Dr. Sarah Whitelaw's motorbike crash patient is slipping between life and death. Scans show massive fractures in his skull.
He was pretty close to dying, I would say, quite frankly. Ultimately, it's quite likely he'll need to go to the operating theatre with the neurosurgeon.
After helping Sarah bring the crash victim back from the brink of death, Dr. Bjorn Macon is called to resus to treat the younger brother, who was on the back of the motorbike.
ED is all about an ability to rapidly respond to the situation and to be pretty malleable, both in terms of your brain and in terms of your mood. It's almost masochistic, isn't it? Lack of control.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And the reason you say the shoulder is dislocated is... Yeah.
Can't move it much.
Yeah. Whatever's going on, there's something. Take some deep breaths for me.
Before he can deal with the dislocated shoulder, Dr. Bjorn must first check for any internal bleeding.
We're going to cover you up and get your pants off, okay? Are you wearing... you're not wearing undies?
No.
Yeah, but we'll cover you up with the blanket, okay? Listen to me. I have to look at your legs, okay? You've just come off a motorbike. You just need to let me do my job, okay? I need to ultrasound your tummy. I need to take those pants off, okay?
I can see that there is a very confused and I would say at worst brain injured, I suppose at best probably concussed patient with other injuries. So I made the decision then to try and calm him down, deal with his injuries. So it is a difficult situation.
The ultrasound rules out bleeding, so Dr. Bjorn is moving on to the dislocated shoulder.
It's okay, that's normal. That's normal. Get used to it. And we're done.
The team has successfully put the man's shoulder back in place. He has no idea his elder brother's life is on the line.
It's one of those, I think, sad situations where we haven't actually been able to tell him that potentially his loved one is quite severely injured.
Open your eyes.
Good. He's still got a concussion and he's not really making new memories. So we're going to have to wait for him to sort of start making those memories before we then try and break the bad news that his loved one's potentially got an unsurvivable brain injury. We'll have to see.
All right, so I think he's really tachycardic. It's quite possibly because he's in pain. He's got a really whopping great palpable pulse now. I think we need to make sure that he's adequately analgesed and sedated.
Back in Trauma 2, Dr. Sarah Whitelaw's team is still fighting to save the motorbike driver who crashed and was thrown head first into a car windscreen.
Hi, it's Jason in emergency. We've got an unknown male. He looks to be in about his 30s. So he's been seen by the trauma team, neurosurgeons to here.
To reduce the dangerous swelling on his brain, neurosurgeons have been called in to drill a hole into the patient's skull.
We're worried about increased pressure within his brain. So the neurosurgeon's gone to go and get a device to put in to monitor the pressure in his brain.
Down the corridor, the driver's younger brother, who was on the back of the motorbike during the accident, has had his dislocated shoulder fixed.
We can't tell anything yet, sweetheart, because he's just been to scan.
He's also concussed and has no idea how seriously injured his brother is.
This young man hasn't got the same severity of injuries that his brother does. I think potentially because his brother actually provided to use a very poor term, cushioning against the forces that were going through his body. I can only imagine putting myself in that position, how devastated I would be to know that my sibling was dying in a room next to me.
There's not a lot more we can do. He will need to go to the operating theatre and then probably to the intensive care unit.
As the driver is wheeled off for surgery, his younger brother is monitored nearby, and Dr. Bjorn takes a moment to reflect.
When you're constantly confronted with these situations, in order to protect yourself, you can wall off your emotions. And I think that something that is very difficult to do is to remain open to these situations, I've heard someone describe it as sit in the rubble is one of the terms where rather than trying to say that everything's going to be okay, you actually sit in the rubble and the destruction that's there with the person. And I find that that's very difficult because I'm a fix-it kind of person, but some things are unfixable, and there's nothing that you can say that's going to make it all right. What a horrific, the worst days of their life.
That's a 78.
Dr. Sarah and her team resuscitated the elder brother in the motorbike crash case. He was rushed to surgery to relieve pressure and swelling on his brain. Despite the efforts of the emergency and surgical teams, the man's injuries were so severe, the next day, he lost his fight for life. Dr. Bjorn's patient, the younger brother, was kept overnight for observation and then discharged from hospital.
Why is it that why is it that people can survive overnight like that, but not go into the next day?
Our heart is an amazing organ. It works hard for us every second of every day, delivering blood and oxygen to every cell in our body. But when sudden cardiac arrest strikes, our heart suddenly and unexpectedly stops beating effectively and blood flow stops. Without any intervention, the brain, vital organs, and our heart will begin to die.
Because what, deprived of
CPR
oxygen?
is the person's only chance of survival. Brain damage will start to set in within 4 minutes, and after 10 minutes, brain damage becomes irreversible. The power to save a life is truly in your hands. Performing CPR accomplishes 2 critical things. 1, compressions move oxygenated blood to the brain to keep the brain alive. And 2, compressions keep blood and oxygen moving to the heart muscle itself, so that it has the best chance of resuming a normal electrical rhythm after a shock is delivered. As you begin compressions, you are creating an artificial pump and doing the work of the heart manually. With each good, effective compression, you are building up pressure in the system, which will move blood around the heart and up to the brain. It does take time to get the blood moving with CPR, so it is very important to push hard and push fast to build the pressure up, which keeps blood going to the brain. Pushing down at least 2 inches allows for the heart to be squeezed and blood to move out. Pushing at a rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute is necessary to keep blood pumping. Let's see what happens when we take our hands off the chest. Blood stops moving to the brain. It is for this reason that if you are taking your hands off the chest to deliver breaths or switching roles, it is critical to minimize time off the chest. Watch what happens when we don't push deep enough. Blood does not reach the brain. The same is true if we do not push fast enough. Watch what happens when we push too fast. The heart does not have time to refill with blood. Therefore, not enough blood gets pumped out.
Oh!
Watch what happens when we don't allow the body to decompress and allow the chest to fully recoil. The heart does not have a chance to refill with blood. Therefore, no blood gets pumped out. So remember, the key purpose of delivering compressions is to keep oxygenated blood moving within the heart and up to the brain to keep the brain alive. We need to push hard and push fast in the center of the chest. If ribs break, that's okay.
That's like,
not okay is allowing the brain to die from a lack of
yeah, breaking ribs is the least of your worries. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll have to be done after this round. And then So I can go to work. Do you have Nebula and BO6? I do, yes. Only for, like, the base weapons that came out for the game. I grinded it for, like, the first 30, 35, 40 hours. And then I really kind of stopped playing the game after that. But yeah, I got Nebula. It's honestly... it wasn't that... It's not that good. I like Afterlife more, actually. I thought, in my opinion, the best camo that game had was the whatever it was called, blah blah blah. Can't think of what it was called. The one that from Warzone though. Right now, nice. I will say, I really wish I would have waited to grind it though, because some of those pistols, like the Strider, I think is what it was. That was like the worst weapon to do. And they changed the requirement, I think, of some of the kills you needed for some of the pistols. Which is insane. That Strider was by far the worst weapon to do. Like, the pistols in general are just kind of really bad to do. Snipers were okay. What I would do would be, like, literally just start up a game of Liberty Falls. And then sit and spawn for, like, the first 5 minutes, just get headshots, and then I would just quit out. Because it was never worth playing a full-length game with it. Although I think I did really enjoy playing with like the LR57 or whatever the explosive sniper is. That's a fun one. With Citadel traps, I never actually when I completed my camo grind with all that stuff before Citadel came out. I know if you like camp that area, you can get headshots with like the oil trap. Yeah. I think I came back to the game and like got to the Olympia to Nebula, I think. But after that, I stopped playing again. That and the baseball bat was also pretty awful to do. Getting the 20 kills without getting hit. Oh, right. Round should be over in like 20 minutes. Oh, and then marksman snipers left. Nice. Assault rifles, yeah, pretty good. Pretty easy. Although I will say it is kind of sad that we don't have Mangler spam as much anymore. That's the main way I would do my like where you have to get like 50 like heavy kills or whatever it's called with like the Manglers or with those guys. I would load up Terminus. I'd get to like round 25, 26 once you start getting Mangler spam. I would sit in the 2 spawn when that was still a thing back then. Like, so you save and quit in that area, and you get to have a 2 spawn in there. And at the very end of the round, I would go take the weapon I want and just go get a bunch of Mangler kills with it. I loved Terminus. Terminus was such a good map, in my opinion. I think that was the best map by far. I wish they didn't get rid of that boat glitch on the map where you like looked up and then start knifing. bit too big. It kind of was, but it wasn't at the same time, in my opinion. I don't know how to describe it. It was big, but not, like, insanely big, in my opinion. What the heck is this? There's Nova. Imagine there being Nova crawler rounds. Sniper Cat left a comment on that video saying you're so hot when you figure out things like this. Wow, okay. Oh, when did I even start this round? I gotta check. I'm done. Why the Abomination is the worst grand encounter? No, it's not. What? What is this YouTube video talking about? Every take in this video was formed with a skill issue. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I can respect that.
Which is very aptly named, since the thing you're meant to be fighting. Next up is File, though it's officially named. And because the song's on the entire soundtrack, I'd personally put it in second place on the whole OST. Now, most people would fight going so.
The best part about... Okay, now, Search Party is a good encounter. Yeah, sure. That's like, it's stressful.
Speaking of jank, this encounter isn't free from it either. Since the Half a Slice of Cake update, Abomination has had an annoyingly unfortunate dead zone where you can glide. You wanna know where that zone is? Straight forward. You cannot go straight forward anymore. I personally hope and pray this isn't a bug that only I experience, because it is one of the most infuriating parts of the Grand. If you try to go directly forward, you will always be gliding slightly upwards or slightly downwards. And while it's not a major thing, it's always the small things that can get you mad after something already happens that's bad. In this case, the something that already happened that's bad is getting Abomination in the first place. Because of this tiny variance in where you're able to glide, it makes this encounter surprisingly difficult to do damage with. Not to mention, it's also just extremely similar to Firewall. Now, I know you could say almost the exact same thing but reversed, Firewall being similar to Abomination, but I have an opinion, and for the sake of this video, mine ends with a very long open section. The only difference is, in Abomination, you know when that's coming if you have the music on, and you have little else to do here. In the final section of Abomination, you're in an open underwater cave that's falling apart as you glide through it. Na'vi will occasionally warn you that the Abomination is about to charge you by saying, "Danger." But a new player won't always know what the warning means. There's always the chance they'll swerve out of the way out of pure dumb luck.
Okay, yeah, but, like, that's the whole point of pressure, though. Like, it's trial and error. You know?
A lot of people I've shown the game just get hit the first time Na'vi warns them. If you make it through this section, you're put into the victory cutscene, where you fall off your glider, just barely make it back, and are launched back onto dry land at the cost of 40 health. That's right, winning this encounter punishes you. At least you get a cocktail Peritha scene right after, which is full heal, whereas Firewall only gives a med hit. Another issue that came with Half a Slice of Cake is that the ending of Abominations has been just a little bit bugged, where now you go through the creature instead of getting very close to it in the cutscene, and the cutscene ends with you extremely close to what has just become a death pit.
Liberty? I never really did directed mode. The only time I started doing directed mode was to get to the Abominations, specifically. I would do part of the Easter egg to get up to, like, round 11 or 12, and then just, like, do just to kill Abominations. That's really the only time I ever did directed mode. Other than that, I just only ever did, high rounds just to kind of get the Mangler spam, because that wasn't really Really possible and directed.
I don't blame them though, because Firewall is extremely hard on mobile and has an option to straight up disable. And it's still pretty difficult on the other platforms like console, being forced to use the assist mode. However, my point of view makes sense coming from an ultra kill player who enjoys the fast movement of Firewall. Abomination just feels like a slog to get through. It's slow, it's buggy, and it's just uninteresting. Being part of the development team is a huge honor for me, considering that
Yeah, I think Citadel's probably faster. I always did my stuff though when I did all my grind before Citadel came out though. I never even looked at how much longer I have left in my rounds. Let's see. $38.30. Oh, okay. I should be done in like 15 minutes. About. Yeah, I have no time for another round then. Dang. Holy, these rounds take a while then. 2 hours and about 40 minutes. It makes sense though. Loved Advanced Warfare.
Oreo? Sunshine, lollipops, and we're hanging up.
The way your body touches it. Use Google.
Oh. Oh man. Ha. Round needs to end, dude. I gotta go poop. Alright, David at 2, and then Natalie at 4. Oh, and then Emmett's at 3. Okay. Come on, round. I'm done. I'm quite over it. Okay, nope, I can't hold it. Be back. All right, let's finish this up real quick. Oh, 80 hours to go now. About, well, 81. About 1 week left until I get into PB range again, though. For the longest game ever. And how much could I realistically do tomorrow? I'll get to about 43, 45 today. So yeah, 450 by tomorrow is definitely possible. That's about it, though. There's no way I can get really past 450 hours tomorrow. I could do maybe a round on Monday, a round on Tuesday if I don't go visit my parents. Okay, so I don't need next Saturday off. I need the Saturday after that off. So... Oh, it's the first of the month. Yeah, I brush my teeth and count up. It's the first of the month. Ah, yeah, I brush my teeth and count up.
Well, for starters, you need to have a stable income and no criminal record to adopt kids.
What?
Getting back to your routine.
It was like instant stomach.
Holy shit!
Growing up is crazy because now that I'm an adult, I actually do think it would be easy to not tell a 6-year-old that they're a terrible person and stupid, even if I was having a pretty bad day. Growing up is crazy because now that I'm an adult, I actually do think it would be easy to not tell a 6-year-old that they're a terrible person and stupid, even if I was having a pretty bad day. Growing up is crazy because now that I'm...
In St. Louis, they got a cave diving exhibit? Oh no.
Tear the U.S. Declaration of Independence and just say, how much do we owe England?
What do people do when they complete the game? Start another game. Is that about right? Yeah, start a new...
Wait, what? Ark Survival Evolved is better watching it than playing it. I started hating it. Watching it was more fun than playing. So basically, I like sitting in that cuck chair. It's relatable, honestly.
California is actually crazy. Just yesterday, they voted to pass AB 2624, aka the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Now, this bill was only made after I had exposed widespread fraud in communities like the Somali community in Minnesota and Armenians in California with the hospice fraud. So this bill will make it criminal and put you at civil risk for wanting to expose fraud inside your...
I'm starting to think that all this bone matching stuff and pretty much all the looks maxing, I think it's all a scam. I don't think any of it works. I think the only thing that
Here are 5 things I don't care about after teaching for 25 years. Number 1 is homework. I haven't assigned homework.
What about this physique is so bad to you guys? I don't like it.
Because those kind of bodies
are only built
For other men.
It's not a naturally occurring physique
From hard work.
You know, instead of getting
Wait, what?
Be taking notes because these modern day philosophers are giving us the sauce for free. Working muscle is not the same as gym muscle. We're even so kind to give us examples of what we need to be striving for. So Exhibit A here with 10,000 likes, muscular but not too bulky where it's obnoxious. She even tells us exactly what we need to do in order to get that kind of physique.
You can tell when a man going and lifting heavy.
Fortunately, this was my starting physique. I fell victim to the gym propaganda. Thankfully, after a couple of months of working with my hands and moving cows and hay bales, I unlocked the dad bod and now infinite pull. I'm now taking clients for reverse transformation to
this. There is nothing I love more than someone who
Let's go. No shield. Another round down. Almost at 590. Got about 30 more hours until I hit to 600 for the second time, because apparently one wasn't enough, you know? So nice, I had to do it twice. Oh, man! Hold on. Let me go swap around my videos in the playlist real quick. It's going to be about 180 streams long. Oh my gosh. Maybe 190 streams. I think there's a cap of 200, so... Whew. I'm so sorry to whoever has to verify this game. They have 167 streams of gameplay to look through. Cool. Let me... see here. Quit. Exit. Bye-bye.